Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about something that I call the noun boxes. Now every noun in Latin is categorized. It has to fit into a box or a category. So I'll draw two of these. So we have our first box and we have our second box. Now in Latin, instead of calling these boxes or categories, they call these declensions. So you have first declension nouns and you have second declension nouns. Now what is important to know is that if a noun goes into the first declension box, that means that it takes first declension endings. I, me, sas, is. And when you learn a new first declension noun in your vocabulary, you will see it listed with two forms. First the nominative singular and then the genitive singular. It is in fact this genitive singular form, AE or I, that tells you that you have a first declension noun. So every noun in your vocabulary list that has an AE in the genitive singular form goes in the first declension box. And nouns don't move back and forth from one box to another. If a noun belongs in the first declension box, it stays in that box and it always takes first declension endings. But of course we have other boxes. We have second declension nouns, third declension nouns, fourth declension nouns, and fifth declension nouns. We've learned first declension endings, and we've also learned second declension endings. And so we have a number of nouns that fit into the second declension box. Nouns like the word for boy, puer, pueri, or the noun for class or game or play, ludus, ludi. Now, you can see here that we have different endings in the nominative singular forms. Most second declension nouns are going to end in a US in the nominative singular, but some of them end in an R, and then there are others that are neuter second declension nouns that will actually end in a UM. But they will all end in a long I in the genitive singular. In fact, it's this long I in the genitive singular that tells you that you've got a second declension noun. This is why it is so important when you learn a new vocabulary word that you don't just memorize the nominative singular forms, but you memorize these genitive singular forms as well. It's the genitive singular ending that tells you which box your noun goes into. We'll learn about the third declension box later this year. But for now, you need to be able to recognize every time you get a new vocabulary word, which box it goes into. That will help you to know which set of endings these nouns take, so that when you see those nouns with different endings on them, you won't be confused. You won't assume that a second declension noun is first declension or that a first declension noun is second declension. You'll be able to keep them in separate categories in your mind. So if you would, every time you learn a new vocabulary word, ask yourself, which box should I put this word into? If the genitive singular form ends in AE, put it in the first declension box. If the genitive singular form ends in a long I, put it in the second declension box. Hope this video has been helpful for you. I'll see you next time.